My grandpa is going to be so proud of me when I win the World Boxing Championship. The only problem is I've never actually boxed in my life, and Grandpa only has 6 months to live. But I have a plan. I am going to lift weights every morning, and I'm going to box every day, except for one rest day. And that might be today. Yeah. No, I'm gonna do this. Okay. My first boxing lesson. Come on, toughen up, kid. Punch me in the face. I don't think that's a really good idea. Come on, just do it. What are you, scared? I don't want to hurt you. Come on, I don't want any wimps in my boxing academy. I can't do this. I search for the nearest exit and make a run for it. I'm free. I take off my boxing gloves and I throw them on the ground. Wait a second. I just spent like $120 on those. So I run backwards and I retrieve the boxing gloves and I keep running and I'm free, like a bird, like I'm flying. Except for not really, but it really feels like it, you know? And I realized that maybe I'm not a boxer, but I just don't want to let my grandpa down. The dreaded day has come. It's my first boxing match, and Grandpa is sitting right in the front row, and I don't want to let him down, but I have to tell him the truth. Grandpa, I'm really sorry, but I can't box today. What? It's just that I'm scared. Scared? You don't know scared, kid. I woke up every morning and had to fight just to get by. Toughen up. So that's how I thought the conversation was gonna go, but it actually went like this. I'm really sorry, Grandpa, but I don't think I can box today. Oh, my dear, it's okay. I didn't think you were really into the boxing thing anyway. It's just you've been so down, and I thought this would lift your spirits. But you know something? You got a letter. I got a letter? Yeah, it's from the Winnipeg School of Happiness. The Winnipeg School of Happiness? Yeah, you've been accepted. I've been accepted? That night, I had the most amazing dream about the Winnipeg School of Happiness and what it might be like. Welcome to the Winnipeg School of Happiness. My name is Harriet, and I will be your happiness trainer. First things first, I'd like to ask you to give a high five to the person sitting next to you and ask them, how are you doing today? Excellent. That is what happiness is all about. Sharing, laughing, smiling, and sometimes dancing a little bit of merengue. So that's what we do here at the Winnipeg School of Happiness. We will be singing Happy Birthday every day. Even when it's no one's birthday, we will sing Happy Birthday to a little wooden frog whose birthday it is every day. So, students of happiness, it's time to share. What is it that makes you happy? Pizza! Puppies! Puppies! Girls! Awesome! Thank you so much for sharing what brings you happiness. The next morning, I woke up and I was so excited to go to the Winnipeg School of Happiness. The only problem was I didn't know where to go. But there was a letter that accepted me, and enclosed was a map. You are here, and the Winnipeg School is here. So, loop-de-loop-de-loop, buzz, 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 up the mountain, whee! Happiness. Like, it wasn't exactly the most straightforward path, but I had my grandpa to help me, at least for a little while. Thank you for joining me at the Winnipeg School of Happiness. Hi everyone, my name is Brigette, and that was a scene from my play, The School of Happiness, that will be premiering at the Winnipeg Fringe Festival this summer. Today I'm going to be talking about happiness. How is it that we can find happiness in the context of disruptive life events, such as the loss of a loved one, the US election, and climate change? I'm from Winnipeg, and this is my family. What is the current context that we're in? So it's 2017. For me, that means that I recently lost my grandfather. And this has been very challenging. Part of the reason why I wrote this play was to honor him and his joie de vivre, which is a French word for joy of living. 2017, this also means that a certain president, whose name rhymes with Ronald Jump, was recently elected. And many of us are feeling afraid for what this means for human rights and for climate change. With this talk, I also hope to offer some thoughts on how we can respond. When we think about how we can deal with these difficult life events, we're often told that we have two choices. One, we can disengage completely, or the other choice is to buy stuff, like some cool new sneakers or some magic product that will make everything better. But we really have a third option, which is the pursuit of happiness. The pursuit of happiness can disrupt a destructive status quo that says that happiness is all about what we consume. What is happiness? Whee! It is the sound that you make when you go tobogganing or when you go on a sleigh ride. In other words, happiness stands for we, and we stands for the following. W means that we are in this together. We're not alone. One of the single most important factors in terms of happiness is the strength of our personal relationships and connections with friends and family. We can be happy when we do kind things for others. It brings us happiness, and it brings that person happiness as well. And this can be as simple as a smile and hello, how are you doing today, to the people that you cross paths with. The E is for express, expressing our thoughts and feelings. The second E is for engage. Engage in something that is absorbing and meaningful. The third E, and perhaps the most important, is enjoy. After my grandpa passing, I was feeling down, and I really wanted to be strong for my family, but I realized that it actually really helped to come together with my family and to express our sadness at this loss. It was really helpful to be able to express our gratitude for the amazing gifts that he brought to the world, like the fact that he was a gardener, and it brought us so much joy to be in the garden. This is our first selfie, and my grandpa's first selfie. It's so amazing to be able to enjoy the great memories that we shared together. I also think about when I was younger and his kindness and my grandmother's kindness when they would have me over for sleepovers. And I think about his passion for social justice, like when we went to an I Don't Know More demonstration together just a few years ago. Which brings us to the next question, is how do we engage in the context of disruptive world events and the news in particular? So sometimes we want to disengage completely. I know that during the recent election, I, in some ways, wanted to just ignore completely what was happening and like move to Antarctica where you couldn't get internet connection or something. That just made me feel worse. And what really helped was actually expressing this feeling of being overwhelmed with my sisters. And that allowed me to move to a place of engagement, to be part of social movements who are standing up to this government. And there are so many ways that we can engage, whether that be signing a petition, whether that be contributing financially, or whether that would be organizing or attending a public event or demonstration. There's so many ways that we can engage, and it can also be really joyful to be part of this movement. How about when we're talking about climate change? How can we confront climate change when we see that fossil fuel projects are being approved, when we know we need to be moving in the opposite direction towards a renewable energy future? It can be really discouraging and disappointing when we see fossil fuel projects being approved. So how do we react? I love what my friend Diane says. She's a friend from running, and when running long distances, she says, don't focus on your blisters on your feet and the pain. She says, keep going. Focus on where you want to go and what you want to achieve. And I think that we can apply this to climate change. What is it that we want? We want a healthy environment for everybody, for people in the global south, for those who are most impacted by fossil fuel development, for future generations. We want the respect of Indigenous rights and knowledge. We want to see a renewable energy future. And this is possible if we stand up to those policies and projects that lead us in the wrong direction and support and create projects and policies that move us in the right direction. We can take inspiration from projects like this, from a friend, Melina Labucan Massimo, who created a solar energy project to energize a community health center with the Lubicon Cree. We can be inspired by groups like Iron and Earth, who have a solar skills program to retrain former employees in the oil industry to solar skills. We can engage in fun ways in our own life, like, for example, making our own herb garden, or buying from the local farmers market, or biking or walking places. At the same time, if we're only focused on our life's work, we can burn out. It is so important to take the time to enjoy one another, to enjoy shared meals together, walking together, dancing together, to take the time to exchange even a simple act, like a hello, how's it going, a smile, a high five. Life is too important not to do our best to make a positive contribution to it, and it is too awesome not to enjoy it. I wish you all a beautiful balance of happiness and purpose in your lives. Thank you.